Do you ever stop and think about how the world keeps changing, and with it, sneaky tricks that try to catch folks off guard, especially those who've lived a long, full life? If you're past 65 or looking after someone who is, these tricky schemes aren't just small bothers. They can wipe out hard-earned savings, shake up peace of mind, and even harm health from all the worry. As someone who's spent years helping families navigate tough spots like this, I've watched how these clever traps can quietly steal away security, joy, and independence. In this talk, we'll uncover why these traps are popping up more now, what's really going on behind them, and 5 fast-moving tricks aimed right at folks in their later years. Hang in there because, at the close, there's an easy, eye-opening safety step that could shield your wallet and keep you living free, calm, and strong. Scam number 1: voice cloning tricks. Let's start with a quiet danger that's sneaking into homes through phone calls, the voice cloning trap. This sly move happens when bad actors use smart tech to copy someone's voice so perfectly it sounds just like a loved one in trouble. Picture our pal Harold Thompson, an 82-year-old who fixed cars for a living and now enjoys quiet days in his garden. One afternoon, Harold gets a call that sounds exactly like his grandson, Tim. The voice is shaky, saying he's stuck in a far-off place after a car mishap and needs quick cash to get home safe. It begs him not to tell anyone else, claiming it's too embarrassing. Harold, with a big heart, rushes to send money through a wire service, only to find out later it wasn't Tim at all. What Harold missed, and what studies are showing loud and clear, is that this voice copycat game uses simple recordings from social spots online to fake real voices, tricking kind folks into handing over cash fast. Getting hit with this, even if it seems okay at first, can drain bank accounts, slow down daily thinking from stress, weaken trust in real calls, and cut into clear-headed choices. For ages, Harold's goodwill had been building up without shields, but now these tech twists make it hit harder and quicker, touching everything from steady steps to sharp recall. All this sadly boosts chances of more slips, like the one that left Harold short on bills. You know those quick heart tugs, the sense of rush, or not checking twice? Those might be quiet warnings from your gut saying slow down. And it's not just one story. A report from 2025 by the FTC notes that folks over 70 who fall for these voice fakes face a 40% bigger chance of losing over $5,000 compared to those who spot the signs early. For Harold, that urgent plea wasn't just a mix-up. No, it was the end of months of online bits pieced together that quietly left him open in ways he never saw coming. This goes beyond Harold's tale. I've heard it over and over from good people much like you. So how do we fight this hidden wave of voice tricks among older folks? A good first move, something easy to try, is to build a habit of checking facts by noting down calls like this for a short time. Jot the time it came, what was said, how many times you paused during the night from worry, and above all, how you feel after, shaken, unsure, or worn out. These are clear hints, friends, strong signs that your peace might need better guards. If you're watching over a family member, kindly urge them to note their calls or watch their patterns with care. This kind of knowing is key because safety isn't just about locking doors. No, it's about what your mind and heart gain during those calm moments without fear. By spotting these signs and fixing any weak spots, older folks and their helpers can make real, strong moves to bring back true safety and ease. Scam number 2, fake tech help alerts. Now let's shift to another pulling story that shines light on a different but just as important side of these traps, their fake quality. Think of Evelyn Carter, a 75-year-old who taught kids for years and whose kind ways, quick mind, and giving nature have made her a favorite in her neighborhood. Evelyn usually turns in early at 9 p.m. and gets up at 5 a.m., seeming to have a solid routine. But lately, Evelyn sensed a slow but steady drop in her calm. Her days started with a cloud of unease. Her once strong recall slipped a bit, and she felt a rare touch of upset in her talks with others. The cause of Evelyn's troubles, as we found, was not in her daily ways, but right in the poor setup of her computer time. In particular, the lack of deep checks, what we call solid guard stages. This key part, which happens mostly when first sitting down, is when your setup fixes files, sorts feelings, and mends links. It's also when your tools build up strength, boost safety walls, and balance key settings. But as years add up, time in these guard stages drops naturally by up to 35% after 70, based on a 2025 note in Tech Safety Journal. For Evelyn, her screen time got broken by sudden pop-ups. She'd click to fix a sore spot, get pulled awake by bright warnings, or just sit staring, unable to settle back. These breaks stopped her system from getting full fixes, leaving her foggy-headed, tired out, and at bigger risk for big issues like data loss, money slips, and high stress. Lots of older folks like Evelyn think just spending time online means good protection. But not all time is the same, my friends. Constant breaks, uneasy shifts, or too much day worry are sure signs that solid guards are getting cut short. The reasons for weak protection are often fixable with ease. Late-day glow from phones, pads, or screens, for one, cuts down alert signals, making it tough to start and keep safe. Changing times confuse your inner timer, messing with natural flows. And a bad setup spot, one too busy, too loud, or too open, can split focus too. For example, a 2025 study in CyberGuard found that noise from left-on ads during quiet time can cut guard stages by up to 25%, taking away the most fixing part. To boost protection quality, older folks can pick up easy but strong ways. Setting a steady routine is top. About 60 minutes before closing down, turn off all glows, your phone, pad, the box, and soften lights to copy the shift to calm, telling your mind it's time to ease. Do peaceful things like reading a simple book, hearing soft sounds, or doing light moves or quiet thoughts. Make the spot best for safety. Keep it cool, around 68 degrees. Use dark covers to block outside glow, and think about a soft hum tool to cover noisy bits. For Evelyn, these shifts changed everything. After swapping her late check habit with a short, calm guide and adding a small blocker to keep her spot quiet, she started feeling steady, her thoughts clearer, and her days brighter. Strong protection isn't about chasing more time online. It's about making sure every bit spent is fixing, freshening, and truly helpful. Scam number 3. Pretend family emergency calls. Next, let's check a way many older folks slip into, often seeing it as no big deal. Too many quick rests. Picture Robert Hayes, a 79-year-old who drove trucks long ago and whose path was filled with miles through storms, cold, and hot sun to get goods where needed. Now resting, his moves are slower, his steps more careful, but his time is filled with a fresh pattern. Lots of long dozes. Robert would nod off twice a day, once mid-morning in his old chair, again after eating on the seat, and at times a third before supper in dim light. "I don't rest well at dark," he'd tell his worried son Mike, "so I make up for it in light." It looks like a fair fix. After all, rest is rest, right? But Mike saw worrying shifts in his dad. He was missing meetups, losing small things, and having trouble with names of old friends. It wasn't just time catching up. Too many dozes, especially over 60 minutes or late, can mess with night rest by throwing off your inner timer that handles wake and sleep. For Robert, those drawn-out dozes were breaking his dark time, cutting the moments his mind spent in deep fixed stages like slow calm and dream sleep. These parts are key for holding thoughts, handling feelings, and body mends. The outcome was a bad loop. Weeknight rest led to day tiredness, calling for more dozes, which hurt night quality more. Over months, this loop not only took his strength, but added to the mind cloud that concerned his kin. Facts back this. A 2025 piece in Elder Mind Health showed that folks over 75 who doze more than 45 minutes a day are up to 45% more apt to show mind slips over time, like forget spots and hard focus. Now, short dozes aren't bad at all. Be straight. A timed doze of 15 to 25 minutes early afternoon, best between noon and 2 p.m., can lift sharpness, brighten mood, and help mind work without touching night rest. This kind, often named a quick boost, fits with the body's natural low, letting the mind finish one loop without going deep that cuts overall drive. The secret is in when and how long. Dozing too late, after 2 p.m. or too much over 60 minutes, can lower your body's push to rest at dark, making it hard to start or stay. Robert's many long dozes were mixing up his whole rest setup, keeping him in a trap of weariness and mind fade. Robert's helper thought there might be more to his weeknight rest than dozes. And right so, up to 25% of older folks deal with breath stops in sleep, a state marked by repeated breath pauses that break rest and leave day tiredness. These stops, often with loud sounds or gasps, block the mind from deep stages, leading to day sleep need and doze leans. After a check confirmed Robert had light breath block, his helper suggested a steady air tool or CPAP. This sends even air to keep paths open in sleep. With this, Robert was told to keep dozes to one 15-minute spot before 1 p.m., best in a calm, cozy place to skip overdue. In days of using the tool and following doze rules, Robert's night rest got much better. He woke fresh. His day dozes shrank to one short bit, and his forget spots dropped. For those leaning on many dozes, it's worth looking if a hidden thing like breath, stops, leg moves, or weak habits drives that day tiredness. A rest check or talk with an expert can find these secret breakers, opening paths to better calm. Scam number 4. Wrong clock shifts. Now, meet Linda Brooks, a 77-year-old who sorted books long ago and whose days were once set by steady patterns. For years, Linda's evenings had a known flow: meal at 5 p.m., a word game or bit of a show she liked, then rest by 9 p.m. She'd rise at 5 a.m., ready and eager for the day. But in the last months, Linda's inner timer started to slide. She found yawns by 5:30 p.m., dozing by 7 p.m., then up sharp at 3 a.m., wide awake while outside stayed dark. Even with 8 hours counted, she felt always low. Her time was touched by tiredness, short temper, and a growing upset. This isn't an odd change. No, it's known as early sleep shift, a usual timer mix-up in later years where the body's wake-sleep loop moves ahead, not matching the light-dark flow. The inner timer, that great 24-hour guide we all carry, is set by outside hints like sun and inner signs like calm signals. As time passes, this setup gets less strong. Calm levels drop on their own, cutting the mind's sign for start, while less sun touch, especially for folks inside more, weakens this main hold. A 2025 note in Later Years Science found up to 35% of folks over 65 have some timer mix, leading to early turns in, early rises, and ongoing day low. For Linda, this mix meant her setup didn't fit her ways, leaving her worn despite seeming enough hours. Rises at 3 a.m. also left long awake times in dark, which can add worry and break mood balance. Fixing that inner timer needs smart steps. And you know, sun touch is the strongest help. Morning light, full of strong waves, tells the mind it's wake time, helping set the timer firm. Spending 10 to 20 minutes out each start, best within an hour of rise and without shades, lets eyes take natural glow, lifting sharpness and pushing back evening low. On the flip, evening touch to strong glows, especially from screens like phone, pad, or box, can cut calm making it tough to start at wanted time. Linda's helper suggested a double way. Morning strolls in her nearby green spot to take in light and a no-glow evening flow. She changed her after-meal show for a book under a gentle, warm light and started softening home glows after 6 p.m. to copy day's end. In short time, Linda's schedule moved back with turns in near 8:30 p.m. and rises around 4:30 a.m., fitting her ways better. Her strength rose, and that early low cloud lifted. For those thinking calm helpers to fix timer spots, care is needed. While calm can aid time set, it works based on right, when, and amount. Often 0.3 to 2 units taken 60 to 90 minutes before turn-in. Wrong use, like too late or too much, can make timer mix worse or cause day low. Talking with a helper or expert is must to make sure right fit. Linda's win came not from ads, but from daily changes that use body's own flows, showing small, thoughtful shifts can bring big gains. Scam number 5, pill and help mix-ups. Last, think of George Allen, an 80-year-old alone after years who handles his well-being with close watch. George always makes meets, sorts his helps in a clear box, and sticks to guides word for word. After a small worry last season, his heart guide gave a calm blocker to handle flow and guard his beat. George took it each dark faithfully, but soon saw odd changes. He'd rise damp, beat quick, unable to ease back. By light, he felt spinny, tense, and fully low. Like many later folks, he thought these were just time's marks, one more to take, but the real cause was his help, quietly breaking his calm. Helps are usual, but often missed breakers of rest in later years. A 2025 note in Later Care showed over 55% of folks past 70 take at least one help that can touch rest. Calm blockers, given for heart spots, can cut calm making it hard to start or stay. Water helpers for flow or heart aid boost night trips, what we name night flow, pushing folks to rise many times for relief. Some mood lifts, ache eases, and even store allergy helps with stoppers can break dream sleep. That key part for thought hold and feeling set. When folks take many helps, known as many mix, these touches can build. making a full storm of break. For George, the mix of his calm blocker's cut and his water helper's night flow was really splitting his rest, leaving him low and mood unsteady. The fix wasn't to drop helps, no way, but to shift their times and check others. George's guide changed his setup, moving the calm blocker to light to cut its touch on calm make and setting the water helper earlier to drop those night trips. In short days, George's night rises fell from 2 or 3 to none, and his light spin and tense eased clear. For folks with like spots, an open talk with your guide or mix checker is vital. Maine asks, might my helps touch my calm? Is there best time for them? Are there other helps with less calm spots? In spots, changing to a fresh help or a mount tweak can shift big without hurting care. For one, newer calm blockers with less calm touch or no water flow helpers may work. Mix checkers, those quiet helpers, can look at mixes to spot hidden causes you might miss. As we close, we've looked at 5 key traps that can shift our later days, making each count. But knowing is strong only when we use it. So here's one big ask for you, one that counts. What's the single promise you're giving yourself from now after this talk? It might be easy, like I'll check calls with kin first, or I'll talk to my guide about my setup, or even I'll try that short boost tomorrow. Kindly share your own promise below. Let's spark each other to make that first move. Your shares, your steps can help another in this good group. And if you got true help and spark from our time, please give this a big like. To keep going with us, getting fresh and not missing more full of change tips, tap subscribe. It's beyond just joining. It's part of a lively bunch set on best days as one. Last, picture one person, a pal, kin, who could use this today, and kindly pass this on. You could shift their path for good. Thanks a bunch for your time. Keep safe, keep sharp, and I hope to catch you next.